once we had a test, and the second question was a photo of a girl who lost her leg, and with all the details like the bone and how it fell apart and little pieces of meat that was scrambled, but it was lost only until the knee. So the question was, what kind of landmine did she step on? And I didn't know the answer. And later I asked my colleagues to tell me, and everyone knew besides me. And it was this landmine with this kind of string that they put between two trees or something, and it's an invisible string, and if you walk and if you just step on this string, apparently your leg will look like that. And I actually never had an A from this subject. I was kind of not interested at the time. Basically, the first time that I saw a building that was not in ruins was in Croatia when I was 11, when we went for the first time with my parents out of Bosnia, when we actually had any kind of money to leave the country. And I remember coming to this Makarska place that's a coastline city, and the houses were new and nothing was broken down, and the things were clean in the street and the people were happy, and there was this sea and sun and like Portugal, but not really. And I thought that was so ugly and weird and horrible, and it didn't attract me at all. I wasn't like wanting to live there. I just wanted to swim in the sea and get out of there and come back home. And then my grandma took me for a coffee at our neighbor's place for the first time, and we were walking down the street, and then there was a landmine sign, and she told me, well, come underneath. I'm like, what? You're taking me into a landmine field for a coffee? No, no, it's Yusuf. He's really like, yeah, he just built his house here and he put his sign so that the stupid people don't enter and nobody asks. Because nobody anyways knows where they are, so... I thought that was the best idea I have ever heard of. But I was afraid, as a kid, to put it in Bosnia because it would really... Yeah, it messes too much with people's minds. And I had enough of landmines there. So the first logical thing to do was set up a landmine field here. And just to feel it. What it's like to walk and to be afraid. And to be aware that cats and dogs are funny. I really like being outside. I remember the first time I saw this thing, and it was not even marked because there's like 50% of unmarked places still, because we have no money for anything. But oh yeah, and because they put them in the war like crazy without a plan, just randomly. Pick, pick. I don't know. It's raining. The first time I stood on this piece of land behind GRILO, I was afraid to walk because I had a fear that I will explode. And I couldn't remember I was in Portugal.